Hi there. As you can see, it's winter on the Canadian prairies, and I'm here at my farm. Myself and many others are pushing back against the cuts to public ag research, and we are looking for your support and help in pushing back. There are letters on the National Farmers Union website, as well as a petition that is going around to push back against these cuts for very good reasons. We're talking about over 7 stations and many programs and over 600 employees that is on the chopping block to be cut in the name of saving some money. But that has an impact. In fact, there's data that shows that the work that is done in this research actually has a multiplier effect that goes just beyond money, but it also does gain back. The Canadian economy does gain back this in the long run. And so it's very short-sighted. Also, many of these sites, as you'll see from some video that I'm going to be putting out, will have to be maintained. And now they're just looking to move it elsewhere. So it's not necessarily a cost savings. I went out to Indian Head recently, and I shot some video there. Indian Head is in Saskatchewan. It's a very important and one of the many important facilities that they are looking to cut. And I believe with your help, it could be saved. And perhaps that's a dream and just a dream, but if we do nothing, then of course nothing happens. And I want to share with you why I think this is important. I talked with David Gehl, who was a former head of the research station there, and I'm going to share with you some clips today. So please take that in. And learn a few things and learn why I and others feel this is important and a bad decision by the Canadian government. And to me, it doesn't really matter which government it is, which type of government, Conservative, Liberal, NDP, Green, they all need to know. They all need to know the importance of these stations. What I'm going to show you is why. So please, your support is really important. And multiple organizations have been pushing back, which I'm grateful for. In fact, every single one would say the way this was done was bad. It wasn't done well. And I'm not here to rag on the Liberal government specifically because I don't like them. I'm here because this decision was a bad one. And this is not just some political angle. This is a very important piece of the Canadian puzzle that has gone on for such a long time and frankly taken for granted.
Okay, we're crossing the CPR main line at Indian Head, and to our right on the east side of the approach to Indian Head is the Indian Head Research Farm. This property was purchased from the Bell Farm in 1887. It was one of the original experimental farms, which was established by an act of Parliament passed in 1886. So the farm's been here for a long time. It was chosen because of its proximity to the railway, and also it was the location where the first superintendent, Angus Mackay, had started farming. Well, historically, it was crucial for settlement of the southern prairies. All forms of applied research were conducted here with both crops and livestock, forage production. But as the requirements changed for research, so did what went on here. Livestock research and other activities with livestock here terminated in the 1960s, and the work here focused on crop research, and that was plant breeding, crop management, soils, work with the soils and agronomy. And this is a very good location for that. And probably since I came here, probably what this farm was most famous for was work with zero tillage and direct seeding systems. That work really began here at Indian Head because two things. The scientist was very interested in that, Dr. Gehl, and Jim Halford, who was starting the production of an invention of seeders, which were better adapted for direct drilling. And the field days here, they had to run them for 2 days because you couldn't accommodate them. So they'd have thousands of people come here to learn about direct seeding.
The standard is now 0 or minimum
That's
till.
right.
The way the soil is, you can really preserve moisture.
Yeah, that has been the whole thing, and it's permitted continuous cropping. And you're putting a huge percentage of your precipitation is going to go through the crop, and you don't need fallow as a means of preserving it. And also the work here, especially which Guy did and now Bill May has done, is showing the crucial need for diverse rotations, which include cereals, oilseeds, and pulses, and how that benefits soil health. This building behind me is the seed plant. It's the headquarters of the Seed Increase Unit. Has a national mandate to produce basic breeder seed stocks for varieties developed by Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada scientists. The unit serves as a bridge between the science and commercial seed production. So the seed is sent, the initial seed is sent from the researchers to the unit here at Indian Head. It's propagated and distributed as pure seed to pedigreed seed producers, who in turn will multiply it in their seed production system and sell it as certified seed to commercial farmers. So that's what goes on in this building.
So they take it from, say, a bag of seed and then multiply it?
It would start out as multiple envelopes of seed. And
Okay.
it's grown as rows.
And then how many years does that take? Is it that's a multitude of years to do that?
The seed, the seed increase unit will have some breeder seed within 1 year, a small amount. They might produce the first year 100 to 200 kilograms of seed, and in subsequent years they would grow a larger plot where they might be able to produce up to a ton. I calculated based on figures which were provided in the Saskatchewan Seed Guide, the current guide, and just in the 3 prairie provinces in British Columbia, it's close to 20 million acres of insured commercial acreage, which is originating from the seed which is distributed from this operation.
So that seed plant, you can't just say, okay, we're closing this seed plant, we're done. That's a pretty important place.
I would say so. It would take several years to find another facility which where you're able to store and condition the seed. It also have facility here for seed disinfection, which is unique. And there's also in there a facility for refrigerated storage, long-term storage, which is especially important for forages, especially grass seed, to be stored in sub-zero temperatures. So it's not an easy facility, and the staff are highly trained as well. So they're not that easily replaceable. Things don't stand still, and there's a need to continuously hone our knowledge and improve farming techniques. And that might be through improved fertility management. Say if we're concerned about greenhouse gases, we might be looking at fertilizer methodology which would reduce greenhouse gases. That work is really being done here. So that affects not just the farmers, but it affects all Canadians because we're concerned about climate change. So that type of work is being done here. There's other work that's being done at looking at protecting pollinators and use of vegetative border strips around farming fields. And the work here is being done here shows how that increases the productivity in crops like canola. Other work's been looking at not on-site, but the scientists here doing off-site work. We've been looking at how to improve the economics of productivity on marginal croplands. and that might be through use of perennial species. Things like hazelnuts or things like that could develop that would give an economic opportunity, because this farm is on Class 1 land. There's less than 500,000 acres of Class 1 land in Saskatchewan. There's a lot more land which is marginal Class 5 and 6 land, which needs improved management to increase the economics of use of that land. And we do have staff here that's working on those type of projects. So it's not just for farmers in this immediate area. The varieties that are developed here are planted across the prairies. And the seed that goes from the seed increase unit here goes across Canada. It's a national mandate. So we do have varieties that are produced here and distributed to farmers in other parts of the country. So it's a good location. It's not, the operating cost is not huge because of the nature of the work. There's no real high investment in labs and that. The biggest cost is the staff. That's one of our scientists.
Yeah. The biggest thing is this is a network of sites that exists that tests the different grains and varieties in different climates across Canada, different soil conditions. And we want to know that all these seeds that we make are viable wherever we are in Canada. And that's such an important part of this piece. So just cut stations and just move them to other places. It creates a less certainty about what farmers plant and can plant. And if we care to have a strong economy and a strong agricultural economy, then this was not the thing to do. And so there's still time to fight back and push back, and encourage you to do so. And I encourage you to learn a little bit more if you've never even connected with this issue before.